Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video, I'm going to be installing a new chain and new chain tensioner on my Razor MX500. This same process is also done on your MX650, which I have right over here. So obviously I have the rear tire already pulled off. I'll get to that in just a second here. So let's go over to my MX650 and let me show you what's going on here. Now, I've already taken this one apart a little bit as well. I'm working on my battery swap to 15 amp batteries, 12 volt, 15 amp for a longer run time. As we can see here, here's my chain tensioner for my MX650 here. And this is kind of what we're looking at here. Obviously you have your plastic right on top. Now the easiest thing to do, how to remove this, you probably have the full complete chain guard on your electric dirt bike. So what you want to do, if the chain is loose enough, the simplest thing to do is you can actually pull up, again, if the chain is loose enough, and slip it off of the front motor sprocket right over there. Just take that off, and then you're gonna need a 5/16 wrench or one of similar size. This one seems to do the trick for a little nut on the chain tensioner, which I'm going to get to in just a second. Again, we're going to be doing the chain and chain tensioner swap. If it's not loose enough to pull the chain off completely, then what you're going to have to do, if for some reason the chain tensioner can't give enough to slip it off, then what you're going to have to do is come down here to the back rear bolts. You're going to have to unscrew those bolts, and then you're going to have to slip off. Once those bolts are loosened or off completely, you're going to have to slip off the chain off this way or off the front motor that way, so it dangles, and then you're going to be able to get to the chain tensioner right here. Now we do have a little nut right here, as we can see. You're going to have to loosen that nut. This one broke, that's why obviously I'm doing this. And so this nut just comes off, and that's the only nut on there, and then the chain tensioner will slip off. And watch your spring there and just install it the same way you uninstalled it. Yours obviously is going to look different than this one. This one broke already, the spring. Then after that, we're going to have to loosen this nut right here that's holding the chain in. We're going to remove that, watch your bearings, and then we're going to slip the new chain on there. Or a 8mm will fit that nut. All right, when installing the new tensioner, down here at the very bottom, you're going to see a very small little hole right there. That is where the straight end of the spring goes in. So just put it right over there, insert it in the hole like this. All right, then you're going to take your new chain tensioner, and this is how it's going to look right here. Your ball bearings, again, that removes. Make sure you tighten that nut where my thumb is pressing against right now. Make sure you tighten that up. I have not done that quite yet. The bearings slip out again. Your new chain goes on like that, and it's going to be dangling for right now. With our new spring on, we want to insert it this way over here, and we want to go ahead and make sure that goes all the way against the frame. Now we're going to put our 8mm screw back on, tighten that up nice and tight, and we're going to go ahead and place it on the lower portion of this. I'll get to in just a second. But first, let's put on this, tighten it up nice and tight, and then tighten this one nice and tight as well. And then don't fight the spring. Go ahead and put the chain tensioner in the up position this way. And then this little clip here is going to go right on the opposite side. So it's going to come from here, and it's going to come around right here. Again, this one is going to be in. This one's going to come around and clip on the other side. So let me show you what it looks like right here. As we can see here, we're going to bring it down. Spring is going to keep it in a nice upward position there. As we can see, it's clipped around the backside, right where my thumbnail is, right there. Okay, both those are nice and tight. This one's tight. This one's tight. If you're worried about that, you could also use a washer on this side here if you're worried about a little bit of play right to left. Alrighty guys, the chain tensioner and chain are all mounted correctly. Again, just making sure that bolt there and your bearing bolt on the other side of where my fingernail is nice and tight. And this is the correct direction it goes. You're going to come from up here, coming around to the bearings are underneath right here. And of course the chain is going to go underneath that, coming back around to your back sprocket and going back up top there. Again, you guys might have your chain guard, you might not. Make sure your bolts are nice and tight, put it all back together, bada bing, bada boom. And that is keeping our chain nice and tight with that fresh spring looking fantastically right there. Smash that thumbs up button if it has helped you put it back together or determine if you want to do this project right now or not. Again, look in the description box below. I'm going to have some parts for this bike and some of the things we talked about. We'll see you guys on the next video. Check out the channel, smash that subscribe button because I got a lot of videos fixing the flywheel clutch, painting the fenders, doing battery swaps. It's all on the channel. Check it out. We'll see you guys on the next one.